Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many different twists and turns, as well as revelations that will lead to saga-wide implications in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that J.J. Abrams is drawing a lot of his ideas from Star Wars Legends, also known as the Expanded Universe, and is really trying to use the Force, or should I say the Rise of Skywalker, as a way to really create a new foundation for the Force and the entire Star Wars franchise itself. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren traveling into an abandoned Imperial base over in the Outer Rim, where it's described that Kylo enters one of Palpatine's hidden vaults, where Sidious kept many of his secrets locked away for ages. It said that within the vault of Palpatine, Kylo discovers a device that once belonged to Count Dooku, that was once lost sometime during or after the Clone Wars, that was recovered by Palpatine and kept secret ever since. It said that this relic that once belonged to Dooku is dubbed as the Dark Holocron. It was said to be a holocron that once belonged to Exar Kun, who was a Jedi who fell to the dark side and gained knowledge of some of the dark temples that hold the key to the beyond. It's described that Dooku would keep this dark holocron a secret for many years of studying the knowledge it contained, where eventually it was lost during one of Dooku's battles, sometime before Episode 3. This device is said to help Kylo in his journey into finding the last two dark temples in the unknown regions that serve as a bridge, or an activation to the bridge to the beyond itself. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, and why this is a brilliant connection to the prequel trilogy era, as well as introducing other elements of Legends material making its way into canon. Let's talk about Count Dooku here owning this thing called the Dark Holocron. Now, this Dark Holocron was actually said to be in possession of the Jedi who turned Sith, Exar Kun. Now, this Jedi that turned to the dark side of the Force, what's really intriguing about this is that Disney and Lucasfilm seems like that they are going to be making this character canon, which really does give us a little bit of a signal of what they're trying to do with the future of the Star Wars franchise when it comes with their movies and their TV series on Disney Plus, etc. So this Dark Holocron was actually said to once be in the hands of Count Dooku for years on end, where Dooku was learning about the secrets of the Dark Temples and the knowledge that this Dark Holocron contained, where eventually sometime during or after the Clone Wars, Dooku lost it during one of his battles that was eventually picked up by Palpatine and pretty much stored away within this vault ever since in the Outer Rim. Now, Kylo Ren is said to discover this as an attempt to discover the last two hidden dark temples over in the Unknown Regions. In case you guys did not know, the Unknown Regions will play a large role in The Rise of Skywalker, where we're going to be learning more about the unknown regions, that region of the galaxy, and the dark temples themselves, and exactly what they're going to look like and the potential of power that they really contain. So, what's really interesting about this is that this is yet again another nice connection to a classic character from the prequel trilogy era, such as Count Dooku, Sir Christopher Lee himself. It's a great way to honor the actor who portrayed that character once more. Obviously, this doesn't mean that Dooku is alive or anything like that, but this is a great callback to the character and really filling in the gaps in between the prequel trilogy movies. Now, this is actually said to be a device that Count Dooku discovered sometime during or, of course, after the events of the Clone Wars itself. And what I like about this is that we do know that this film is going to really be used as a foundation to introduce new types of Star Wars lore to the fans. So the Dark Holocron is said to be a different type of holocron. It was once a holocron that was actually in possession of a character named Exar Kun, which is going to be introduced into the Disney canon from what it seems. Now, on top of all of this, this base that Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren travel into is said to be a vault that once belonged to Palpatine. In case you guys did not know, there are at least over a dozen vaults that belong to Sidious in the galaxy as a whole. One of which is over on the world of Pilio, and the other of which is inside of this base in the Outer Rim on an unknown world. So far, those are the two vaults that we know of, where we will actually be learning more about Palpatine's vaults as we go into the year of 2020, where we learn more about the comics, the books, the novels, you name it. Very exciting time, I gotta say, because we do know that this movie is really going to be used as a way to fill in a lot of gaps and to really open up a lot of possibilities for the future, and using a lot of artifacts and relics to inspire our main heroes and villains to move forward from start to finish of this movie. So with that being said, Count Dooku, I love the character, one of my favorites, without a doubt, in the prequel trilogy. You know, I think that he's got one of the most amazing fights in Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones. And with that being said, I would love to hear what each and every one of you guys have to say about the Dark Holocron. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.